September 30th holds unique significance in the world of government. Taking off the mask is what many refer to it as. A significant shift in the life of several civil servants is reflected in this word, when they must leave their position with the government beyond 60 years of age. These days, numerous esteemed roles, whether it's the commander of the armed forces, the permanent secretary, the director general, or another title, it's all got to end. It is analogous to removing the mask that you have been wearing in your professional life. This is more than just the termination of a career. Nevertheless, it also marks the start of acknowledging a reality that many people might not have known before. On this day of taking off the mask, one's true status and place in society are reflected in a mirror. It exposes the values we once considered essential to our identity. In reality, it's merely a mask that society has given us to wear, and it's only something transitory. However, taking off the mask is not just for retirees. Indeed, it's an idea that ought to permeate every aspect of our everyday existence, whether it's preparing for a work role when you get back home or letting go of the accolades you receive. Not only does grasping and embracing this idea help us live more thoughtfully, it also makes life more mindfully. However, it's also the first step towards seeing a more profound reality. Everything which we take for granted as ourselves is really only an assumption that we have made about ourselves and the world around us. We shall examine the ideas of fictitious see-through and mask removal in this post. From a Buddhist and life philosophy standpoint, cannot comprehend how we might live a happy life free from the pain that comes with attachment. When the time comes, for whatever reason, to take off your mask, many people have to deal with an often bitter reality. That is, an abrupt shift in one's social standing and how other people treat you. There must be an end to all high positions held. Its previous strength and influence are evidently diminished, as is the fear or consideration it commanded from others. People who used to be surrounded by others for their own advantage may suddenly vanish. It's possible that social and professional networks will shrink dramatically. Removing the mask also highlights how fleeting fame, status, and recognition are things that many people aspire to and value. They might no longer receive as much money or benefits as they formerly did. Facilities like housing and public transportation could vanish. It's possible for gifts or remuneration from other people to decrease or cease altogether. It is necessary to hand down a once proud position to others. Along with the position goes the ability to decide and issue commands. It's possible that the respect and gratitude you used to receive have drastically declined. There may be fewer invitations to chair or be a VIP guest at certain events. However, discovering the reality beneath this mask, it's not meant to inspire pessimism or despondency. Quite the opposite, it's a great chance to learn the real truth about life and society. We'll discover that what was before believed to be ours was only transient. Suffering results from clinging to these transient goods. Once you realize this, you and I will be able to live intentionally, without recklessness, and discover happiness independent of these other influences. Thus, removing the mask refers to more than merely finishing a part. However, it marks the start of realizing a more profound reality. Everything which we take for granted as ourselves is actually only an assumption that we have made about ourselves and about society. We can cheerfully transition to a new life once you realize this, without being dependent on status, obligation, or other people's acceptance. Taking off your mask is ultimately neither gloomy nor frightening. However, it is a chance to grow in intelligence and insight. To achieve genuine, long-lasting happiness, it offers us the chance to learn about our own value, regardless of where we stand, and discover how to have a fulfilling life without depending on any mask at all. It shouldn't be reserved for the day we leave the workplace to wear a mask. Nonetheless, you ought to do it each day, particularly after work. When their responsibilities for the day are completed, many people continue to wear their masks in their personal time. Suffering and needless expectations result from this. Consider a friend who is a national speaker. He was well liked at work, but his wife had to remind him to properly comb his hair when he got home. He didn't feel content. Consider yourself a national orator. When he comes home, he should hang up his hat and resume his role as the family's husband or father. Why does he have to be welcomed in this way? Not all masks take the shape of occupations. However, it also refers to the degrees and titles we obtain from school, such as becoming a doctor, which frequently win us recognition and respect from others. However, many people can find it difficult to list this qualification. For example, a lot of people hold on to their title of doctor after they have earned it. Always remember it when making introductions in different settings. Even at his friends' events, he always introduces himself as doctor. There ought to be a kind and welcoming environment there. However, on occasion he continues to act in the role of doctor to the extent that the otherwise laid-back atmosphere becomes strained. Society bestows upon us a precious mask or position. It is crucial, nevertheless, that we understand how to use it correctly, without clinging to it or making it feel like it defines who we are. Praise for our academic credentials or status, such as being called a doctor, is merely something society bestows upon us for use in our work and productive endeavors. However, we should know how to take off these masks after finishing our work. Returning to your true self in day-to-day living. Our lives will be better and more tranquil if we know how to wear the mask without getting attached. Reject influences such as prestige or accolades that could cause you to lose sight of life's realities. Mask or other position that we actually possess in our lives. Furthermore, it is merely a presumption that society has established. These presumptions can relate to race, religion, or whether a person is a Buddhist, Christian, or Muslim, among other things. Everything about this is designed to establish individuality within the framework of society. However, these aren't who we really are. Beyond the categories of race and religion, roles are another aspect of assumptions. In daily experiences like motherhood, childhood, friendship, or teaching, it is important for us to understand how to use these roles as assumptions and avoid being overly tied to them. The responsibilities of parenthood utilizing assumptions can teach us how to better control our expectations and feelings. For instance, when your kid acts impolitely or becomes heated, how can you talk to your parents like this? May cross the minds of parents who are overly connected to parenthood. However, if parents can accept their own responsibilities with compassion and an open mind, they might believe we can't be angry if we are real parents. We have to approach teaching with composure and empathy. Our ability to parent mindfully and without attachment can help us handle a variety of situations better and lessen family strife, and encourage positive parent-child connections. Buddhism teaches us to look past socially constructed categories like skin color, ethnicity, gender, religion, and even humanity. These are all only conjectures. It isn't accurate. Buddhism encourages us to seek out the truth in everything and to let go of preconceived notions. We could characterize someone as a Jew, a Muslim, a Buddhist, or a Christian, for instance. Deeper investigation reveals that everyone is the same. It is merely a body composed of all identical parts and organs. Buddhism compares seeing through fiction to gazing through an X-ray machine and without caring who is in front of you. Which country are you from? Or what kind of religion exists? All that the X-ray machine sees is the body. When someone gets an X-ray, everyone is seen in the same way regardless of gender, skin tone, or social standing. They only view the same organs, the liver, kidneys, and lungs. Likewise, when our intellect grows to the point of wisdom, realizing everything there is to know, we shall observe that there are only 5 aggregates, or body and mind, in every existence. There is no distinction based on position, religion, or race. It is about recognizing the actual reality and looking past the constructed fictions. When engaging in Dhamma practice, we shall realize that everything we have ever taken for granted is an animal, a person, or ourselves after we have fully developed mindfulness. All they have is body and mind. No matter who it is made up of the 5 aggregates: body, feeling, perception, thought, and consciousness. The 5 aggregates are the same for all. To see beyond assumptions to the ultimate reality is to see what is truly true. What we think of as people or animals is just a form and a name. It is seeing the basic truth that consists of body and mind. Practicing deep mindfulness allows us to see this reality, similar to an X-ray machine that can see through the surface and reveal internal structures. We won't be dependent on presumptions until we realize this degree of accuracy. Give up trying to put humans and animals apart from one another. But as we shall see, everyone is a victim in this life and death cycle. Observing this fosters empathy and understanding for all people and animals. When we are able to grasp the fundamental reality that the body and mind are all that exist, I am not the one who is hurting. Seeing this has a lot of advantages in the area of lessening the pain associated with physical sickness in particular. When one is experiencing physical discomfort, such as aches and pains or sickness of any kind, should we persist in believing that I is the ill party, our hearts will suffer as well. This attachment results from an incorrect belief that I am the sufferer. He is human and experiences pain. Actually, the mind's insistence on viewing this body as myself is the source of actual sorrow. The body is simply the body, if we can recognize this fundamental truth. Furthermore, pain is merely a physical indication. We're not going to be depressed, for the heart will not be aware that it is I who is hurting. When faced with sorrow such as this, letting go of the I will assist lessens suffering and help us realize that true suffering originates from holding on to self-created notions. The practice of Dhamma and awareness beyond simply achieving mental calm, there is a deeper objective. Our practice may lead to a calming effect on us. Developing the insight to recognize the ultimate truth is the true goal, nevertheless. This is to realize that the self is a fabrication. Only the body and the mind exist, including the 5 aggregates of body, feeling, perception, thinking, and awareness, also referred to as body and mind. Looking at others and not attaching to them as self, that is, when we see only the 5 aggregates, body and mind, then we are looking at the ultimate truth. Becoming peaceful and comfortable is not the only benefit of Dhamma practice. However, the growth of understanding allows one to realize that everything is merely a delusion. Everything is presumptively produced, including Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, and even who we are. True wise people are able to perceive both imaginary and real things. But avoid becoming mired in presumptions. Recognize the ultimate truth and be able to use assumptions unbiasedly to your advantage. Realizing this will spare us pain when our stubborn presumptions are proven to be incorrect. It enables us to view the past of assumptions and comprehend the risks associated with holding on to presumptions. By engaging in mindfulness and meditation practices, we can learn to see past the illusion of illusion and understand the risks of holding on to presumptions about things like identity, race, religion, or social standing. All of these presumptions are products of our own minds and culture. If we hold fast to the presumption and think it to be accurate, any alteration or violation of those presumptions will result in suffering. Nevertheless, when we possess authentic wisdom, we'll be free to take advantage of our assumptions without being attached to them or suffering when they alter. We'll see that these presumptions are only instruments for navigating society. However, we shouldn't hang on to it till it causes us pain. Being able to utilize assumptions in a way that is advantageous to both ourselves and other people is a sign of intelligent use, without allowing presumptions to dictate or govern our level of pleasure or misery.